There's nothing more antagonizing than an individual who wants to turn their lives around for the better, but at the same time, failing to comprehend, or in better words, failing to figure out where to start and where exactly to fix. Because keep in mind that you can't fix something that doesn't exist. First, you have to diagnose the problem in order for you to be, certain about the specific problem that you're fixing. And believe it or not, but this is what often confines a lot of people from getting all the answers that they're looking for. A few months ago, I was busy doing research, trying to have a better understanding about us human beings. And as I keep on, digging deep into my research, believe it or not, but I was surprised to find out that, like a lot of people, they don't use their brains. Like they literally don't use their brain power at all. They're still caught up in what we call the subconscious mind. Like it's like you are literally brain dead, but unaware. You don't use your own logic. You don't know what's going on. Like your brain doesn't produce original thoughts. So you subconsciously find yourself, following the crowd and end up where everybody ends up, in a rabbit hole. And I thought long and hard about what could be an effective solution to salvage this problem. And it really took me a while, to figure this out. But at the end of the day, I did. So I've discovered that isolation and deep thinking could be a solution to this problem. I mean, think about it. When you isolate yourself from the outside noises and, lock yourself in a room with your thoughts, that's where the deep thinking will start to emerge, and that's precisely why there's this thing that says better ideas are born in a quiet place through isolation. Because it's through isolation where your brain becomes sharp, becomes like a weapon. Because that's precisely why, when people go through self introspection, they don't say, okay, let me go to the club and figure myself out. No, but they always go away to some place quiet where there's peace and equanimity. Because that's where all the answers are. That's where all the solutions are. Because isolation leads to deep thinking. And that's precisely why, typically critical thinkers are isolated people. That is why they can think better than the majority. That is why they can make, rational decisions better than the majority. And also, that is why they are succeeding and striving in this life thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a full version or a deep explanation about what I just mentioned in this video, then there's a link to my online course in my bio, and hopefully, I will see you there. So, guys, my name is Johannes, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Cheers.